So what they did, they placed many people into the prison to wait for deportation to east, to Siberia, just to clean the country and keep the loyal people. So the park was used as a chapel for the prisoners, and if you look even more up, you will find sculptures of the angels praying for the poor souls of the prisoners. So originally, the idea of the prison was just to change the people who were in prison. In reality, when you have and then, have you heard of the TV series Stranger Things? Yeah. It's kind of like a big jump from to Stranger Union in the 1980s. And boom, we have a prison which is just closed down. So they found it somehow and came here to film a part of season 4. And the art students.
For example, you have a huge field to do this thing. In Lithuania, in this prison, it's small, tiny rooms for 1 or 2 persons.
Yeah, it was the maximum security. This was a very special occasion for those kind of events. It was not a very big event. It would take like 5 minutes. A groom would come, a bride usually, and a bride would usually come from the free world. And the guy would be in prison to the prisoners who would get married, that they would meet in a special place in the prison.
Kind of like nice compared to this.
Compared to every prison.
Only one is a bit worse, but the others working well.
So what are they?
It's, I think, Lithuanian, these animals that we have on the roofs or on the old buildings, which can be carved or placed there, unless you know better than me.
No.
That's it?
Yeah.
So they kind of look like Jason's lizards.
You can always say it's King Gizzard, you know.
Cool.
Like dragon.
Do you mind if I put you in?
More about the country. Okay, so...
Or the city? Either one.
So the country, we have a long history, and the most recent history is that we were under the Soviet Union, but we broke out of it through the Singing Revolution. and now we are very proud to be independent. And the city goes down like long as well. It's long history. We have old university, and now you can see like mishmash of everything. So you have very old Baroque churches, then you have Soviet buildings, and then you have these old abandoned prisons where now we have concerts.
Yeah, when you realized that you could see really cool bands in a prison, what was your first thought?
First idea.
Yeah.
That it's very nice that they just didn't close it and let it to rot, but it's reused in some kind of way.
Yeah, in a more positive way, I guess.
Yeah, and in the beginning they were doing the tours in the prison for the people. So I haven't been, but you've been.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We did a tour today.
Yeah.
They gave
How
us
did
a
you
nice
like
tour.
it?
I mean, cool is like a bad word, but I'm glad that they preserved it as such, so you could see, and I want to know more.
Yeah.
But I like all the old tiles and the different patterns.
And
Yeah, the church is crazy.
Yeah. And have you been? There's another prison where there used to be headquarters of the KGB and basically Nazis and so on.
I want to go see that tomorrow, the museum, right?
It's a genocide. It's museum for genocide, and they also do tours. It's like much smaller.
I think Cookie went. That was on Cookie's list.
Real depressive.
Real depressive, yes, I know.
Because
But-
lots of people were tortured there, and we had this huge partisan movement, also partisans, I believe.
Yeah,
There.
but it's good to know about bad history sometimes.
Yes, I mean
We know our history.
Yeah, I noticed, but we really love your city, it's cool.
It depends on the period of time when the prison was in operation. During the last year, one or two, but as those were special cells for the bad ones, you can only find one bed. So during the last years of operation, it was for one person only. But if we go back in time, this kind of cell could be 15, 16 people.
And when you say person, you mean men, right?
It was for both men and women,
okay.
the prison. Yeah. Yeah, well, 15 people were during the times when Soviets were ruling Lithuania. Soviets did not really like that Lithuanians wanted to be independent. So what they did, they placed many people into the prison to wait for deportation to east, to Siberia, just to clean the country and keep the loyal people. So the park was used as a chapel for the prisoners, and if you look even more up, you will find sculptures of the angels praying for the poor souls of the prisoners. So originally, the idea of the prison was just to change the people who were imprisoned. In reality, when you have found it somehow and came here to film a part of season 4. And the art students.
Let's say, for example, you have a huge field to do this thing. In Lithuania, in this prison, it's small, tiny rooms for 1 or 2 persons.
Yeah, it was the maximum security. This was a very special occasion for those kind of events. It was not a very big event. It would take like 5 minutes. A groom would come, a bride usually, and a bride would usually come from the free world. And the guy would be in prison to the prisoners who would get married, that they would meet in a special place in the prison.
Kind of like nice compared to this.
Only one is a bit worse, but the others working well.
What up, my friends?
Party all the time.
The sun is shining. What's going on here?
What's up?
Is that normal? Everyone give it up for King Stingray, our brothers.
Hey.
I'm spoken for, but...
Checkity, 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 check.
So went on down here, had to step out of the heat. Antarctica, that's the place. Synthetic breeze on my face. I'm a polar bear in denial. I can't help but hate the heat. I can't help but hate the heat.
guitar, Stu.
Sounds good.
Stu's broke his guitar just 5 minutes before we played, so he's got a new Jimi Hendrix machine.
How's it go? First time playing it. Feels good?
Play Little Wing.
I'm giving it a good red hot crack.
Sweet.
Testing out the whammy bar.
We'll see.
It does this, which is cool. That's some dime bag shit. Anyone here play guitar? People don't play guitar anymore. People play techno.
Huge response, that one.
No one paid?
Nah.
Jimi Hendrix, anyone?
But on the table.
We were thinking of doing Little Wing on the table tonight. Cav said no.
You wanted to do Foxy Lady.
He wanted to do Foxy Lady. I said, no thanks.
Cook wanted to do You're So Fine on the table.
station ferry, laminated denim, rotate anti-clockwise, see-through backward facing eyes, feel its allure, history jeweler, stumbled on its ladder, by its cousin, dying slows, eyes closed, crimson juice, pressure grows, sticky red death, knife death, high potential, results alive. Who am I, if not the canary in the coal mine? I won't be back. I slipped and fell into its lap, in its boil inside my track. City stripped away as the Ash Queen crystal dismay. Freezing limbs as the sun dims. Brush a tearing limb from limb. Earthbound city stripped away as the Ice Queen hypnotically sways. Queen of ice, suffice to say, engulfing all in crystal dismay.
Everybody feeling up in the sick pot? You feeling all right? All right. Time to bend over and shake your rear. Don't bend over too much. Don't drop that soap. It's gonna be a slippy one. Pigeon noise in the house. All together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time.
Sesame Street up in here.
Oh, crack! Hey! Chill out. Chill out, little popcorn kid.
Mosh pit for the duo.
Alright, we go to create a circle. I'm joking.
I'm not.
Red crusts on my banquet, and puddles on my wine. I revel in the present, each moment a lifetime. I need only flap my wings, and away which where I've been. This cruel city that I love, my crown kingdom. Does it planet Earth look good from this perch? Rats in the sky. Nothing surprising, liberated my wings, I'm better not worry. Forgot the destination, but enjoyed the journey.
Why not? Why not?
That was good. You guys knew where all the turnarounds were. Nice one.
We're Gizzard,
Oh,
man.
yeah. So this is piano. Yeah, that's it. And this one stays off. Nah, man, do whatever you want. Play microtonal. I don't give a fuck. How's everybody going? That's it. All right, cool. Great. Just checking in, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry! Let me mend that ass. Let me mend the back. Let me see behind your mask. You finally go around. She stares at the ground and asks if you're not there. Locks on the doors. Surveillance when you enter in the hall. Such a pointless cause. The curbs on my wall. It's hard to be ignored. Let me mend the basket and make ends meet at last. Before the bleed, don't wanna come across too weak. Let me mend the past. Let me see behind your eyes. It's finally go around. Stare at the ground and act if you're not there. Let me mend the basket and make ends meet at last. Before they bleed, don't wanna come across too weak. Let me mend the past. Let me mend the past. This will be the last time I'll ask. Let me mend the past. Mania, Lithuania! Thank you! Time to take to the table. It's in the table.
So,
Just a cosmic death, but also a means of fusion. And then day we took our first breath towards a higher truth, the ego in the vast and honeyed sky, leaving behind a mortal coil, silver cord now torn, the spirit flies.
All right.
Look past the dying trees, beyond waterless seas, atop the horizon, adjacent to the sun. Give my word that it's there, magenta mountain. What do you mean? You can't see it. My life must be a dream, a living fantasy, disappeared in hot air, magenta mountain. I don't believe you, yeah, your eyes deceive you. You better check yourself in, the mirage is creeping outwards from the dream. Can't you see I've gone insane? Pack my bags and my swag for the road. Follow the bows of the ancient railroad. I need to rendezvous where clouds can't misconstrue. I'm certain it's real, magenta mountain. You say that I'm crazy, and I will go on my way. 'Cause it's what I need. I've crossed 1,000 seas just to prove I'm not mad. Magenta mountain. Magenta mountain. It's you again. Thought I saw a statue laying. And a bird with no hands land on a golden thread. I rub my eyes, what am I saying? There's nothing there. Sanctuary, chasing every best I get. I don't wanna be left, never not making it there. What was confusing it's not such you see. Imagination is a powerful thing. I see a flash of purple smoke envelop me. I see now behind the lens looking back at me. We fell through a dream, across clouds of blue, underneath sun, crashing through. A chance I get, I don't wanna be left. shall sweep us and the wind stop. Howl and moan at homes and lives, overthrown of but or grave. All cold to stone, rise to save. Roll out from cold, weave it back to stone. We can't burn this sleep, polish night. Fire, tough glow, despite Gizzard and flow, fire's rage, no power and Surviving reasons he fell for flaming dust. Engines crunch on the ground below. Fluids deep heads in lava flows. Gaia sent to self-destruct. Praying for a complacent flux. crumbling, crumbling, crumbling castle. I don't want to be crumbling, crumbling, crumbling castle. Crumbling, crumbling, crumbling castle. I don't want to be crumbling, crumbling, crumbling castle. Yep. This very day in 1,000 years, the earth will be relative to the sun and the moon, and the new world will be created. I know because it is written here. I see through the bricks to the sea, crumbling castle. In sheep, closer each century, crumbling castle.